This is a Stick and Axe show. It's Mike and I'm Adam. This week on the program, Jennifer Arrington from North Carolina. She's a lawyer and a golfer and an instructor at the First Tee. Plus, we talk about Pete Dye's legacy in the game of golf and what he brought to golf course design. And we play a game of Could You, Would You with our boy. Stick and Axe show right now.
This is the Stick and Hack Show. Conversation, discussion, debate, and golf talk from a stick, Mike Ryan, and the hack, Adam Grubb. Boys, you are up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Stick and Hack Show. I'm your host, Adam Grubb, the hack. That's Mike Ryan, the stick. Mike, how are you?
Perfect.
Great.
Great day.
It's a great day, isn't it?
It's raining. It's
a raining, miserable day here in the Midwest, and we long for the days of springtime for golf when we can get back into the swing of things. And if you live somewhere else in the country and you can play golf whenever the hell you want, well, good for you.
Yeah.
Right? We're not interested.
I don't want to hear it.
Most sophisticated golf show in the free world, presented by Perfect Pro-Ams. The Pro-Am at Camelback is the next event. It's May 1st through the 3rd of this year in Scottsdale, Arizona. You get to play alongside professionals in the most unique Pro-Am format that there is. Go to perfectproams.com to learn more and register today. Stick and Hack is going to be there, and we hope you are too. It is really a cool event, and we're happy that they are a proud sponsor. Well, they're a sponsor. We don't know if they're proud.
We don't know.
We hope they're proud.
We hope. But
perfectproams.com.
we hope a lot of things.
Guest this week, Jennifer Arrington. She's a lawyer by day, golf enthusiast, and a volunteer coach at First Tee of Charlotte, North Carolina. She is on the show today. I'm going to be talking about, among other things, the golf influencer and social media's impact on the world of golf today, not just with the PGA, but just in general, and what the social media influencer really is. And is it good for the sport? Is it good for the game?
Yeah.
Which I think will be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool.
All right, so this is our first up here. This is our first show, and we hate to start a show on a sad note, but this is our first show since the death of golf architect Pete Dye. Dye was 94 years old, and he died January the 9th. His impact on the game was obviously massive. His wife of 68 years by his side on every course design and a major influence on his career. He is a native of Indiana, central Indiana specifically. Yeah. And, he was one of those architects and one of those golf figures that you know the name, even if you are you play a couple times a year maybe. If you just know a little bit about golf, yeah. Pete Dye's name came up all the time in golf course design because of the iconic courses that he did design, but also his longevity in the sport. So for you have a personal connection a little bit. We all do here in central Indiana because he was here. Yeah. But you actually met Pete Dye and knew him a little bit. I played golf with him.
I didn't know.
That's what I heard.
No.
You said at the beginning, before we went live.
That's giving it way more.
You said that you beat Pete Dye in golf. That's what I heard you say.
I was lucky enough to meet Pete Dye once. I was playing crooked stick with a buddy of mine, and we were playing on the back nine. I think we were on like 15, which is like a par 5. And we were rolling up the cart path, and I looked up ahead, and there was Pete. Just strolling down the fairway with his big white dog.
Was he by himself?
Just him and the dog.
And did you talk to him?
Yeah, he stopped, and my buddy who knew him well introduced him to me and said hello real quickly, and just I'm sure he made some quip to us.
Is that one of those? Sure, is that one of those moments where you if you look back on it, you would do it differently? You would do the interaction differently, or was it just cool just to meet him?
I was just completely silent because I had no idea what to say.
Yeah, and most golfers,
like, oh my God, that's Pete Dye.
Most golfers wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup, of our age. Maybe
right.
Some of the older golfers. I know that actually our course is designed by Pete Dye. So our home course designed by Pete Dye, and there's a story, one of those legendary Pete Dye stories where he showed up at the course. He was playing with a member or walking with a member, and he said, "What is that tree doing there?" It's one of those ridiculous trees in the middle of a fairway that makes no sense. And he said, "What is that tree doing there?" And there was some confusion in the group. Like, well, why are you asking us? You designed the course. He's like, "I didn't put that tree there. That tree is not supposed to be there."
I actually think so let me clarify for you.
No, that's the story. That's the story.
All right, fine.
Nobody else knows the truth.
I know, but I think what it was, he did plant the tree. He said that tree was not supposed to stay there that long to get that big.
It's supposed to die?
It's a huge tree.
Yeah.
And
It's the
he's
worst tree
like,
in America.
why is that still there? It needs to be cut down.
So he was notorious for making courses and designed around specific traits like railroad ties and different. He would bring parts of the area into his designs, but he's more famous for those courses that PGA championships were on, majors have been on.
Yeah.
He is a world-class designer, and one of the courses that he designed is the TPC at Sawgrass.
That's right.
And that's Florida. That's a stadium course. TPC is the Players Champion, something. Yeah. It's Players Championship course, and it's a stadium course, which means that it was designed, and this is part of PGA back in the 80s, their need for more people to watch golf. So they designed these courses, or some in Arizona. They designed these courses specifically so that a bunch of people could come and be around one hole.
Yeah.
So there's the famous hole at the Waste Management Open in Scottsdale, and then there's the TPC at Sawgrass, where there's just 38,000 people can be at these events now because of the way they build the courses.
Right.
And one of the most famous holes in golf, which I would debate almost anybody, that even if you're not a golfer, you know the Island Green, hole number 17 at TPC Sawgrass. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's iconic.
All right, so TPC Sawgrass opened for business in 1980. It was the first of several of those stadium-style courses. Dean Beeman, which is a name that sounds made up, is a PGA Tour commissioner at the time. What's your name? I don't know. Dean Beeman? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask Dean Beeman.
Yep.
So Dean Beeman, who was a real person, PGA Tour commissioner at the time, wanted to increase fan engagement. So he said, let's build this course for people to come watch.
Yeah.
And the 17th hole is an island green, has a little bridge that goes over.
Yep.
Did you know, Mike, that was not the original design of that hole? Yes, they wanted water near it and around it, but not completely surrounding the green.
I don't know the full story, but I do know that Alice Dye was part of the reason it ended up being an island green.
Right. That's the end of that's the end of the story.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that you just jumped to.
Sorry,
and
my bad.
completely ruined my entire thing.
Well, that's what I'm here for, man.
So I guess we can
I like
just
to rain on your
I
parade.
guess we can skip that part. That is true. Alice Dye. So they were creating this hole, and in Florida, some of the sand and the earth of that at that time started to creep in and fall into the water, and thus created really no other way for that hole to stand up other than an island green. And Alice Dye said, why don't we make this an island green here? And it was influenced by another course. Pete hated it.
Yeah.
He said, absolutely not. I don't want that. And Alice
Yeah.
said, well, I'm not sure what to tell you. That's what's happening. And Pete said, all right then. All right then. And the most famous hole in golf was born. Legend has it at the 17th hole that 100,000 balls a year are found in that water.
I absolutely believe that.
Right?
Yeah.
And there is nothing more exciting in golf during that tournament than watching those moments when someone hits it into the water. There are countless stories of triumph and failure at that hole coming down the stretch of a big tournament.
That's right.
And I think there's three really famous stories. One of that hole is Brad Fable, 1998 event. His tee shot successfully landed on the green. You know this?
I do.
A seagull flew in and started picking the ball and messing with this ball on the green.
Yeah.
Ended up putting it in his mouth, flew out off the green, over the water, dropped the ball into the water.
Yeah.
And at that point, then there was this, hubbub with the announcers, and they had the whole thing on film.
Yeah.
And he dropped the ball. Now, under Rule 18.1 of the rules of golf, as a bird is considered an outside agency.
Yep.
And
That's an interesting
that's what it says.
way of putting it.
Right, an outside
Although
agency.
I guess that's a blanket statement, because it could be anything. It could, like, maybe not a bird. It might be like a squirrel or.
At some point, my mental state during a game of golf is an outside agency. So I'll just keep looking up Rule 18.1. My playing partner, who's annoying me, is an outside agency.
That's true.
All right, so under 18.1 of the rules of golf, as bird is considered an outside agency, Fable's shot was at rest. He was permitted to replace the ball at the spot where the ball initially came to rest on the green, and that's one of those famous. Look it up on YouTube. It's a funny moment, because of the famousness of that hole. On NBC's tournament coverage, every single year, 11 to 13 cameras are pointed just at that hole alone.
Wow.
And
That doesn't surprise me, but
because of that coverage, we were able to get two of the most iconic moments at that hole outside of the bird thing.
yeah,
Was Tiger Woods' better than most
that's
putt,
right. Yeah,
and Fred Couples' hole in 3.
yep.
So in 1999, Fred Couples hit one in the water. He was coming down the stretch for a tournament. He needed to hold on or something. I don't know all the details. Doesn't matter. He hit the ball in the water, penalty stroke, and then he hit a hole in 1. But it was a hole in 3. He got a par on that because he hit his third shot into the hole. And Tiger Woods, of course, the world famous better than most putt. It was a triple breaker, 60-footer on 17. Gary Koch, right, was the announcer at the time and said, "That's pretty good, Johnny. That's better than most." Better than most, and that's the world famous call there. And putt. That was early 2000s, vintage Tiger. That's when he couldn't lose anything he was doing. So we give thanks to Pete Dye and give him his due. Obviously, 94 years and just a staple of the game. And what he was able to design and give the game of golf throughout the world will always be remembered. And it's not often that the golf world stops for somebody who designed courses, but they did on January 9th when Pete Dye passed away.
Yeah, he was a genius, and a lot of people will tell you that. He was a genius as far as golf architecture goes. He did things and had an effect on the game probably more than anybody in modern history. And there are a lot of people that will tell you that. The things he did in architecture and the way he changed how golf courses are built, they will ripple through the game for years.
And I think the fact that he was married for 68 years and that she was with him through his entire journey and they worked on it together is a testament to what golf does. It connects people, it brings people together, and in this case, it gave us some of the most iconic moments in golf and golf courses across the country. So Stick and Hack salutes Pete Dye as he passed away on January 9th.